What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had an awesome Friday. We have some college football as well as some NBA for today. Now, I do want to go ahead and say, Cool Ryan is taking a little hiatus. Homeboy is banned for a little bit, and we're going to talk about why. So, Cool Ryan thought it would be a good idea to lock in a $250 slip and then a $1,000 slip for the free picks. So, homeboy put $999 on Zion Williamson. Bam ended up cashing in a very sweaty cash. Zion ended up with 27, and I will tell you right now, I don't ban very many players, but Zion is probably never going to see a slip again because Zion he did nothing, man. He did cardio for 90% of the game last night. He had his moments where he picked up the pace a little bit, but he could have got 30 PRA easily, man. I don't know. I don't like the way he played last night. So for me, Zion's going to be a no-go for player props. We did cash this one. Gave out for free yesterday. Amon Thompson with Michael Porter Jr. MPJ was free. Amon was very sweaty, but he ended up cashing. So this was $250 to win $522. It doesn't make up for the loss that I had on the Zion play, but it is what it is, guys. That's what happens when you don't bankroll manage. I'm telling you, that's why you bankroll manage. I would have profited $22 if I would have played $250 on both slips. But since I didn't, you know what happened to me? I ended up in the negative by, what is that, $480. So big loss on parlay play for me. But regardless, guys, it's part of the game. I knew what I was getting myself into when I locked in that slip. I just honestly thought Zion would be less sweaty than Bam. I'm going to be honest with you. But regardless, guys, did end up taking the Nuggets last night over Houston. That was a very, very sweaty and a toss-up game for me. I was on the Rockets all day long. I did a poll on Instagram. Everybody voted for, or it was like a 51-49 split. I'm not going to say everybody. It was pretty much a 50-50 split. My gut told me to take the Nuggets. So I put $250 on the Nuggets last night. It did end up cashing me out for $535. So if you guys got that one, then I'm glad you did. Sorry for the Rockets, man. That was close. But anyways, yesterday was honestly not the greatest day for me just because of some of the money lines. Money lines really hurt me yesterday. I took Pelicans money line. They were winning the entire game, ended up throwing the game at the end. Then I took Minnesota. I took the T-Wolves last night to win. They cost me some money, as well as the Bulls. I hit one of my 4 money lines yesterday. It was rough on the money lines. But anyways, guys, I do want to go ahead and pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If you guys are interested in trying to get a free month, just drop a like and a comment on this video. And if this video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down in the comments to win a free month. So drop a comment, leave a like. You do have to be a subscriber to win, and let's go ahead and pick our winners from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday is, no, I don't need an autoresponder, Brant Tellis, who said VIP me. Well, Brant, send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP, my man. I appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And hopefully, if you guys aren't in the Discord, you'll join today. Join the Discord. It's free to join. Link to the Discord's down in the description as well. If you guys do want to get all my plays, everything I do play, yesterday was a bad day, I will say that, but nobody's not going to have a bad day. If you follow anybody, there's always going to be bad days for everybody. So just remember that. Do not let yourself get too emotional in this. If you try to chase your losses, you'll end up losing more. Last night, I considered it myself. When when the Bulls got blown out, that's really what did it for me. I was like, the Bulls getting blown out at home, like, what's going on here? And I wanted to place a big bet on something else. I didn't because I kept myself accountable on that. So something you all need to do when you're in this industry. But anyways, the WAP link's down in the description. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. Hopefully we do end up having a good day today. We got, like I said, a lot of college football, and we've got some NBA. Now, I will go ahead and tell you guys, this NBA slate is one of the uglier slates. It's not something that I'm super big on. I'm not going to be playing super heavy on this slate, and I recommend you guys do the same. Now, you might be able to find some value somewhere. I'm not saying there's no value on this slate, but for me, I have 3 free picks today instead of 4. I'm not going to be putting a lot of money lines today. I don't like the money lines here. There's a lot of teams on back-to-backs, a lot of crappy teams like the Pelicans playing against Atlanta. Hawks should beat the Pelicans, but who knows what happens, man. Like Zion didn't do very much yesterday, so maybe – is Zion even going to play today? Yeah, last year he couldn't play back-to-back, so he's not questionable. I don't know what's up with Zion, so I'm not even going to attempt to try to guess that one. But anyway, let's talk about the first game. The first game we have is going to be one of the better games on the slate. I'm going to be honest with you. We got the Clippers taking on the Hornets. Hornets are at home. They're plus 106. They now have Brandon Miller. They have Bridges, and they have LaMelo all playing. So this should be a pretty good team for Charlotte. I say pretty good take that with a grain of salt. I don't mean they're a good team. I just meant better than they have been. And versus this Clippers team, it should be a close game. Right now there is a 1.5 point spread with a 227.5 total. right now it's almost a 50-50 split on where the money's at. 54% of the money's on Charlotte money line at plus 106, and then there's 62% on the Clippers covering a spread. Now, for me personally, I'm kind of leaning the Clippers. I don't trust this Hornets team to get a dub. I may throw some money on the Clippers. I may not. This may be the Instagram vote video or vote slip. We'll see. I think this is an early game. Yeah, this game starts at 1 p.m. Eastern, so for me, it's going to be 1 o'clock. So this probably won't be the vote one just because there won't be much time to get a vote. But both teams looking pretty rough. Both teams have, 4 wins this season so far, so both of them struggling. Clippers getting beat by everybody. Hornets getting beat by pretty much everybody. Just got beat by the Pacers in Indiana. So I can't trust this Hornets team, to be honest with you. If you look at the Clippers, missing Bradley Beal out for season, obviously. Jones is out, Kawhi Leonard's out, and Jordan Miller's still out. Looking at the Charlotte side of things, they are missing Josh Green. Zion James is probable, Trey Mann is questionable, and then Grant Williams is still out. So looking at this team, is looking better than that. This injury list is a lot shorter than it used to be a couple of weeks ago. So maybe Miller being back is going to be good for him. We'll see, but anyways, I do kind of lean the Clippers in this game. I think this could be good for player props. I think Zubac is going to be a very good player prop here. I think James Harden is going to be a good one here. LaMelo is always good for RA against certain teams. Now, this game could be a little bit sweaty for him, but it wouldn't surprise me if LaMelo cashed some of his props. Don't really want to take Bridges or Miller here. Not sure how I feel about them, but maybe Knuppel with a full team, though. It's hard to get a grab on that. So for me, if I was going to take anybody from the Charlotte side of things, I'd probably just look for LaMelo. His minutes shouldn't be too limited. We can actually go back to this and we can see how many minutes he played his last game. So his last couple games, he played 27 minutes since he's been back. So not super limited. He's a little bit limited. Not going to get his full playing time, obviously. His RA line is sitting right at, let's see here, what is it, 13.5. Melo's good for 13 or 13.5 in majority of games. If you give him close to 30 minutes, head-to-head versus the Clippers, he had one game last season. It was a blowout, so it didn't really count. So not a lot of data to go by for LaMelo in this matchup, but it is what it is. So I like the Clippers here. I think minus 105. That's really the only play that I have for this. And I don't love the Clippers because it's the Clippers. I told you guys I don't really like betting on the Clippers just because of the coaching. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm leaning this game. Not huge on it. May change my mind. We'll see. But as of right now, it is going to be Clippers. Next game we have is going to be the Knicks versus the Magic. This is one of the only other good games on the slate, in my opinion. Magic are plus 101 at home. Pretty much even odds of 1.5 point spread with a 228.5 total. Right now, public betting has 71% of the money on the Knicks, with 58% on them covering the spread and then 60% on the over on this total. Both these teams been looking very, very strong this season so far. The Knicks have been missing Brunson. Brunson is probable to play today. OG is still out, so they're missing OG. A probable Brunson who could be limited. I'm not sure how many minutes he's going to play tonight either, so that does change some things. Makes me not want to play anybody from the Knicks side of things and player prop-wise because if Brunson's limited, obviously Towns would get more play or get more usage. But if Brunson plays the full time, it's just you never know, man. So I don't like taking chances on some of these injuries sometimes, especially after what happened to me with Sabonis. But on the other side of the thing, we have Orlando still missing Banchero. He's obviously out. Suggs has been stepping it up. I don't know that he's going to have a great game today, but I was kind of looking at Suggs. Wagner, I don't trust. I've said this from the beginning, man. Magic players always sell me. I don't know what it is. If I play Wagner, he'll hook me by 0.5. If I play Suggs, Wagner will have a pop-off game. It's always the reverse of what I think is going to happen on the Magic side of things, so I don't like putting too much money on them. This game's just so competitive, and it should be a good matchup, but and it being one of the only good matchups, in my opinion, on the slate makes it hard for me not to want to play something from this game. So I'm probably going to end up playing Suggs or Wagner. Those are the two that I'm looking at in this matchup, but we'll see what happens, man. This game is tough to call. And from the Knicks, like I said, with Brunson being injured, it's very hard to call this one as well. So I'm going to wait for some injury news. I'm going to try to research how much play and see if I can find anything on how many minutes Brunson's supposed to play tonight. And if I can find anything, I probably won't be able to. It's usually pretty hush-hush. But if I can find something, it can kind of guide me in the right direction on this money line. Because if Brunson's good to go and he's going to be his normal self, then I like Knicks money line here. But if not, then maybe the Magic, because the Magic have been playing pretty well as of lately, even without Banchero. But this one's tough, man. If Brunson wasn't playing, it's still a tough game for me to call. I could see the Knicks winning without Brunson at all, especially with the Magic missing Banchero. I know they've been playing well, but this Knicks team is still pretty good. So I'm going to call Knicks. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Knicks money line on the road versus the Magic. Magic at home has been pretty tough this season. Let's take a look at them at home, too, before I jump to the next game. So you can look at the Magic at home. They've won about every game. They've, 6-3. And then if you look at the Knicks on the road, they only won one game on the road. But this can bait you sometimes. If you see this, you might be like, okay, definitely take the Magic. But that can a lot of the times bait you into taking an L because some of these games have been very, very close. You got 113 to 115 in Miami right here. Other games, 10-point lead almost on all of them. But regardless, man, Knicks are not a bad team, and they could get a win anywhere. Next game we have is going to be the Hawks versus the Pelicans. I got the Hawks. Screw the Pelicans. I'm pissed at the Pelicans from yesterday, so I'm not putting any money on the Pelicans. I don't care if they're at home or not. Give me the Hawks money line, minus 350, minus 500. I don't give a dang. Give me the Hawks. If Pelicans win, it is what it is. The Nets won plus 900 yesterday after the Nets sold me against the same team at home. So the Nets played the Celtics last night on the road in Boston, got themselves a dub at plus 900. And then the other day, the game before, I played them for plus 700. And in the video, I'm like, I'm going to put a little bit of money on the Nets, and the Nets at home versus the Celtics. Think they can get a dub. Kept it close the whole time, was leading a lot of the game, and then ended up just throwing the lead. So, like I said, guys, some of these teams, like, who for all I know, Zion comes out and plays tonight and gets 60 PRA. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can, it's hit or miss sometimes. So, this game's, I'm not touching the Pelicans. I don't trust them at all. And this Atlanta all day for me. I like Porzingis. I like pretty much any player off the Hawks team. That this is a good matchup for them. Pelicans give up quite a bit of stats. So Hawks all day. Next game we have is Milwaukee taking on Detroit. So Pistons versus Bucks in Milwaukee. Plus 330 underdogs for the Bucks. 8.5-point spread with a 223.5 total. This game could get ugly. Also, most of the Pistons players are ready to go. Tobias Harris is even questionable. Jaden Ivey's even questionable. This team's almost fully healthy. Let's take a look at this Pistons team. Look at this win streak, guys. An 11-game win streak. They've only lost 2 games. Like this right now, best team in the league, man. Like freaking killing it. And that was with injuries. You think give them a fully healthy team, and we'll see what happens. But Pistons, who I'm leaning with, Milwaukee's still missing, or the Bucks are still missing Giannis. This is Giannis and friends all day. Without Giannis, this is just friends. And, friends probably ain't beating the Pistons. I'm going to be honest with you, even in Milwaukee. So I got to roll with the Pistons here. Pistons at minus 335 with the Hawks at minus 300. You can get almost even odds on that. It's going to be a little bit more juice, but I'm kind of leaning playing them in a parlay. I'm going to be honest with you. But I like the Pistons here. Player prop-wise, not a whole lot that I'm liking from this game just because of the questionable players. It's hard to play. It's hard to put a bet in on some of these players when you got 2 questionable players that could come in and take a lot of the minutes. So I'm going to fade this until I get more injury news. But as of right now, I do have the Pistons winning this game. Next game's Chicago versus the Wizards. Bulls got blown out last night in a cup game. Like, it's crazy, man. Wizards could come out here and beat them tonight, but the Bulls at home probably stomp the Wizards. It's the Wizards. 1-14, the Wizards get beat by everybody. So can't trust the Wizards here. I can't trust the Bulls anymore. Screw the Bulls. I'm sorry if you're a Bulls fan. I just can't trust them. Gonna fade this game completely. I'm not playing anything from this game player prop-wise or even though it's 243.5 total. I'll probably change my mind. It's because this slate's so ugly. I'm probably going to have to take something from this game. We'll see. But as of right now, this is a no-bet game for me. Next game is going to be Grizzlies versus Mavericks. And then we have the Kings versus the Nuggets. The last 2 games, both games, I don't like. We got the Mavericks on a back-to-back playing at home versus the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are missing Jaren Jackson Jr. as well as Ja Morant. We saw what they did the other day. They actually got a dub, I believe. Mavericks won last night versus the Pelicans in a very close game. They're minus 104 favorites at home, a 1.5-point spread with a 227.5 total. Right now, majority of the money is on the Grizzlies side of things after the Grizzlies got a dub. But I mean, Grizzlies beat Sacramento 137-96, a 41-point blowout. Absolutely killed them. That was without Sabonis. Even without Sabonis, that should not have happened. If you look at the Mavericks, they have 2 wins at their last, 7 games? Yeah, 2 of the last 7 they've won. That's versus Portland, and then that was versus the Pelicans. Look at Mavericks at home. They've lost about every game. They have 4 wins. And if you look at Memphis on the road, they've lost every game except for 1 in Phoenix. So not 2 teams that you can really trust. Memphis missing a lot of players. Jaren Jackson Jr. is doubtful. He's not out, but he is doubtful. Probably not going to play. Morant's obviously still out. If you look at Dallas, they are missing Anthony Davis. AD is out. D'Lo is out tonight as well. So they're missing some players, and they're on a back-to-back. Makes it kind of tough to take the Mavericks. This game, in terms of player props wise, there's not really much I'm looking at. Maybe Zach Edey. I'm kind of potentially looking at Zach. Maybe Cooper Flag. Like, there's just not a whole lot here that I'm liking. You can take some more role players if you want. Role players, a lot of the times in games like this, can step it up, so you never know. But right now, if I had to pick a winner on this game, I can't take the Grizzlies, man. But I can't take Dallas, dude. Give me Memphis on the road at plus 108 if I had to pick one, but I'm not putting money on them. I'm just going to throw it out there. There will not be money for me put on the Grizzlies. Next game we have is the Kings versus the Nuggets. Nuggets minus 500 favorites, 11.5 spread, 236.5 total. We just saw the Grizzlies blow out the Kings. Like, I'm probably not touching this game. Nuggets on a back-to-back. They got upset by Chicago, who played a triple overtime back-to-back the other game, like two games ago, 3 games ago, whatever. So it wouldn't surprise me if somehow the Kings kept this close, but I don't trust the Kings. This is a no-go for me. I can't take players from this game because of potential blowout risk. It's a fade for me. So that's what I got for the games, guys. Like I said, a very ugly slate. Very hard to get good reads on this slate. For me personally, maybe there's somebody out there that thinks this is the greatest slate ever. For me, I don't like what I'm seeing on the slate. So you're not going to see much being played for me. Maybe some money lines. Like, you might see me put a ban on the Pistons or something to win $300, which is not very good odds at all, but just for fun. Like, I might do that. Like I said, practice bankroll management. Don't just nuke a play because you see somebody on YouTube do it like me. But, sometimes I've had that itch as well because I practice bankroll management 90% of the time. Sometimes I just, you want to live on the edge. But regardless, guys, let's jump into some player props. Like I said, I have 3 props I'm going to take. 2 of them I played on parlay play. One of them is a boost. The first one I'm going to talk about is going to be Cade Cunningham, 7.5 assists. The boosts on here are not very good. You got Brunson, 25 points. How can you take Brunson 25 points when he's been out? It's hard to want to even play that for 1.5x to be exact. Like, no way I'm taking it. Even if he drops 40 points, I'm just not touching it. You got Zion. Screw Zion. Look at this motherfreaker. Nah, screw Zion. And then you got Cade Cunningham and Levine. Levine for 3 threes. I'm not touching Levine either, and I'm not in a blowout potential game. Cade Cunningham's the only one potentially to take from the promos for NBA for me. Now, if you guys do want a free month of VIP, I want to go ahead and shout this out. You sign up for any code down in the description. Parlay Play is one of my favorite platforms. Code Fantasy Aces on any of those gets you a free month of our VIP as well as a deposit match, so you can get up to 8 full months for free. I am also working on a one-on-one mentorship that I have a lot of people interested in. Right now, I have this capped at 30 people that I'm letting in, and this is not some false cap that people do all the time. This is a legitimate cap because I will be putting in a lot of time with these individuals one-on-one, hours a week on each one. So understand that it is going to be capped as of right now 30 people. I may let a few more in if I can find some help, but right now 30 people max. The the questionnaire is down in the description if you guys do want to fill it out. So first come, first serve. I will be going through those pretty soon, and it'll get released probably sometime next week. That being said, let's go ahead and pull up Cade Cunningham. So Cunningham assists, 7.5. Pretty low line considering what Cunningham has been doing this season so far. So Cade's been dominant so far. Now, remember, he has been injured a little bit, so he's been sitting out some of these games. He's cashed this line 11 of 12 games on the season, which is a 92% hit rate. 10 assists average per game. Like I said, man, you're taking some risk with Cade here. Cade played, 4 days ago versus Atlanta. I don't know what his minutes are going to look like, anything like that. So far, he's averaging 36 minutes per game. I'm assuming he gets close to 30 regardless. It's a game versus the Bucks. The Bucks hopefully can keep it close. They give up 13th in the league in terms of assists allowed at 26.5 assists per game. If you go to the guard position, they give up 21st to point guard and then 8th to the shooting guard position. So good matchup for Cade. I think he should be able to give us 8 assists tonight, and I'm willing to take a chance on him. That's one of the only plays so far that I'm willing to take a chance in terms of these boosts. So Cade Cunningham at a 1.36x. The value's not great there. We can pull it up on Prizepicks, and we can see what they offer, and I'm pretty sure that boost is going to be better than Prizepicks, but I've been wrong before. So his original line is 9.5, by the way, so you're getting a 2 assist discount, which is 20%. So pretty big discount on this play. So you always look at that, too. How big of a discount are some of these lines? It's a 20% discount on Cade. He goes from 10 to 8 to cash. So 20% off pretty decent discount for one of the star players on the team, or the star player on the team. So I need Durn step it up too. That's why I said one of. But Cade Cunningham, like to play at 7.5 assists, lots of mouths to feed, and I think he can do that for us. And if he is hurting and doesn't feel like shooting the ball, maybe he does facilitate a little bit more and give us some more assists. Next play that I have was going to be for our man Zubac. Like I said, I like this Hornets and this Clippers game. I think it stays pretty competitive. I like Zubac at 10.5 boards. Now, I played Zubac for a double-double. I'll throw that out there too. I think he gives us 10 rebounds regardless. 10.5 is a little bit sweatier, but I think he gets it, man. Look at him. He's averaging 11.3 rebounds on the season, 67% hit rate. This is a matchup versus the Hornets. Hornets do not give a lot of rebounds up so far this season, 39.2 per game. If you go to the center position, it's around the same. They give up 10.4 rebounds per game to the center position. Now, Zubac's got a matchup right here versus Kalkbrenner. I'm pretty sure Zubac is going to be able to give us 10 boards or 11 boards if he tries. He had 19 his last game. That was versus the Magic. Magic's not a team that gives up a lot of boards either. But if you look at his, I don't like looking at last 10s. You look at his last 10, he's catched 80% of his last 10 games. He is averaging 12.7 boards. He's averaging 33 minutes per game playing time. They're missing a lot of players. Zubac has to step it up. His PRA looks good. I like his PRA at 30, 29.5 if you wanted to take that. I didn't lock it in. I liked his boards a little bit better, but I could see Zubac somehow coming out here and having a 20-point game. It would not surprise me. He does do that every once in a while. So ended up going with his boards at 10.5. If you want to risk it on something else, you're more than welcome to play whatever you want. But for me, I am going to be running his rebounds 10.5 boards. So 10.5, you play it with Cade on here, you got a 1.8x. If you play it on parlay play, you do end up with a 1.93x. So it is a little bit better value on parlay play. So I'm going to put the max you can play on the boost, $250. I'm locking it in. And then we'll jump into the last play. Now, I do not have a prop for you guys for the last, or I don't have a match for you guys on the last play. It's something I like. It's something I haven't locked in yet, and I will find something. I want to show you guys Zubac and Cunningham are locked in together, 250 to win 480. The last prop that I wanted to lock in was going to be for our man Porzingis. Now, I'm taking Porzingis. There was two props I was stuck between. And let's talk about them. So the first one was Porzingis for 15 points. 14.5 points. He's cashed at 8 of his 10 games this season so far. He is averaging 12.4 field goal attempts per game, and he's averaging 26 minutes played per game. Played 29 minutes his last game versus the Spurs. He is needed. If you look at this Atlanta lineup, they were missing Ricochet. They've been missing Porzingis. They have a lot of injuries they've been dealing with so far. Obviously, Trae Young's been out pretty much the entire season. If you look at Porzingis, he's been playing pretty well. Porzingis is one of those guys who can put up a lot of shots. Now, 12.4 attempts. Not a ton of volume. It's a good matchup versus the Pelicans, though. The Pelicans are one of those teams that give up a decent amount of points to the center position. They actually give up a ton of points and then a ton of rebounds and assists. So his point line I was looking at, and then I was looking at his RA line. So let's click rebounds and assists here, 30th and 30th. So the worst defense in the league to the center position for rebounds and assists. Porzingis averages 9 RA so far this season. He has 17 one game versus Cleveland. Head-to-head versus the Pelicans, he's averaging 11.5. His RA line is 8.5. He cashed this 53% of games last season. If you go to games without Trae Young, the games this season without Trae Young, he's cashed 4 of 7 games. And if you look at last season without Trae Young, it was 53% because Trae played about every game. But anyways, let's go to this. What am I talking about? Dude, I'm sitting here like, I had a brain fart. I was like, why is that not changing? Obviously, Porzingis did not play for the Hawks last season. I'm sorry. Yes, Celtics. This is when he played for the Celtics. So his minutes were sitting at 30 minutes per game. He's averaging 26 minutes per game right now with the Hawks. So you have to understand that as well. Porzingis is injury prone. He really is. He can get hurt at any point in time. He's kind of like AD. So do remember that. That is a huge thing. So, regardless, 9 RA for Porzingis. I think he can cash it for us pretty easily. He could obviously get 9 rebounds in a game if he really, really wants to. So, versus the Pelicans on the back-to-back, I like Porzingis RA. If you prefer his points, Porzingis points are probably pretty safe. I'm going to be honest that, like, I'm not going to say safe. He could have a bad game, obviously, but his might be a little bit safer. You got a 1.4x payout on his 14.5 points, and then you have a regular payout on his RA, which right 1.76x. So obviously you compare his RA with any prop you want and get a double up for the most part. Like you can come over here, just click NBA, for example. Brunson 17.5 points gives us a 1.8x, and that's a 1.03. Like know what I'm saying? You can play it with almost anything and get a double up if you play this one. If you play his points line, you got to be a little bit more selective. But I do like Porzingis for 9 RA. I'm going to play it in a slip for sure. Don't know what I want to lock it in with just yet, just because this slate is ugly. So that's just a bonus prop. If you want to fade it, you can fade it. We did lock in this slip live. It's an ugly slate. Like I said, bear with me. If we look at Porzingis here versus the Pelicans, look at the matchup. He's got a green shot chart under the rim and behind the three-point line. Then he's got a yellow and orange in the paint and in mid-range. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. Not a bad chart. It's actually a very good chart compared to what you're going to see on majority of matchups. I like Porzingis here. I like all these plays here. If somehow we get some chalks, it's an ugly slate. Like I said, if you don't want to play them, don't play them. I got to drop some plays. I honestly wasn't even going to make a YouTube video. I was going to fade this video just because I didn't like the slate, and I was like, there's not a whole lot that I can give to VIP either to get value, but I do like these plays, guys. I like Cade 7.5 assists, Zubac 10.5 boards, and Porzingis RA. Lock them in if you like them, fade them if you don't. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all on tomorrow's video. After hopefully we get us a sweep. We've got some NFL Sunday tomorrow as well as some NBA. I'm going to try to get one of the videos out early tonight. Probably be NFL tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'll do NBA. But if somehow I don't get it out tonight, you'll have the video in the morning. But hope you guys have an awesome day. See y'all in the next one.